Trevor. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. We as a people in New Jersey, in America, are finding ourselves at a historic critical juncture in our state's history and our nation's history. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that in my lifetime, in any of our lifetimes, the very values and principles on which this nation was established have ever been challenged as they are now and as they will be in the months and the years to come. With the victory of Barack Obama and his administration, we are witnessing an all-out attack on the free market principles, on capitalism, and on the values of America. With the passage of this ridiculous stimulus package, with the printing presses running night and day to produce more cash to pump into an economy that will undoubtedly drive inflation. You know, if I go out and print money, it's called counterfeiting. When the government prints money, it's called monetization. But as we witness what's happening in front of our very eyes, we are witnessing an all-out attack on the free market principles which had delivered more prosperity and more opportunity to more human beings than the world has ever seen in the history of America, in this nation. And those principles will be challenged. They will be a challenge immediately. We hear constantly how Wall Street is responsible for the current economic conditions this state is in, this nation is in. Wall Street, the very crossroads of prosperity, from which emerged some of the greatest ideas of innovative mortgaging and financing and capitalism and creativity. That system, which has been hampered by government interference, by the likes of Barney Frank and Harry Reid and Chuck Schumer and Bill Clinton, when they decided that they would manipulate the free market system and force subprime mortgage deals in order to provide home ownership to those who could not afford home ownership, that's not the free market making a mistake. That's the government intervening and regulating and forcing and destroying our economy, as is the stimulus package. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see greatest challenges we have ever seen to the very principles on which America has been built in the months and in the years to come, and is going to be the responsibility of the Republican Party to reestablish the visions of Ronald Reagan, who came into a declining economy in 1980 when interest rates were hitting double digits and unemployment was hitting 10% and the nation was in a state of moral decline, or morale decline. And what did he do? He didn't say we need more government regulations and need more government programs. He said, let's cut taxes. And he delivered the Reagan tax cuts of 1981. And the liberal media that supported the agenda of Barack Obama, they said it was supply-side economics, trickle-down economics. It wasn't going to work, but it did work. Cutting the size of government and the tax-cutting policies of Ronald Reagan, reducing the top-end income tax rate, lower middle income tax rate, corporate income tax rate, ignited the greatest economic growth period in American history, one that went right into the Clinton and the Bush administration. And now we're abandoning those principles. We're abandoning them. And where is the Republican Party when it's time to stand tall and call for tax cuts and cutting the corporate income tax rate? You know where it's going to happen? Right here in the state of New Jersey. When I was a kid growing up here in New Jersey, in Bergen County, New Jersey was one of the lowest tax states in America. We had no income tax. We had no sales tax. We had the third highest property taxes in the nation, the third highest. And then began the growth of big government, first with the sales tax, then with the income tax, corporate taxes. Now New Jersey is ranked the most overtaxed state in the country. The state that once led the nation in economic growth and prosperity and opportunity to build a business and to raise a family is now ranked the 50th worst state in the country to do business. That is not acceptable. And we can fix it. And in the months to come, leading up to the primary, I will roll out a series of policy initiatives that will do just that. Tomorrow, I will be addressing the most progressive income tax in the nation, when I will put forth a policy to return to a simple flat tax and take up Ronald Reagan's challenge in his first inaugural speech when he said, do we have the courage to challenge the immorality of the progressive tax? We need to take on the corporate income tax. We need to deregulate business. We need to provide an economic economy where we can compete with surrounding states, and most of all, bring growth and prosperity back to New Jersey. In the months to come, you're going to have to make a decision in a primary of who will be the standard bearer for the Republican Party. I believe that I put forth the best answer to those issues and those questions, and are best capable of articulating what we need to do to lead. It's not just about winning. It's about governing. And it's about governing from a historical perspective. Let me define the difference between you, myself, and my primary opponent in this candidate. My primary opponent, in his opening remarks when he kicked off his campaign, made the following profound statement. He said, the Wall Street philosophy is responsible for our state's fiscal ruin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wall Street philosophy is not responsible for our state's fiscal ruin. That Wall Street philosophy has elevated this nation's prosperity for 2 centuries. It is big government that is responsible for our state's fiscal ruin. It is the government, not Wall Street, not capitalism, not free markets, not free trade, but the very government that is shackling our taxpayers and stopping us from gaining the economic prosperity we so deserve. This should be the issue in the upcoming primary. Who can better put forth the values of the Republican Party and the values on which this nation was built? I am that candidate, and I am not afraid to take the steps to do that. And I hope you will follow my campaign in the weeks to come as I put forth the answers that New Jersey needs to return economic prosperity for all New Jerseyans, not just the political recipients of Democrat largesse. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.